Hey guys, it's Megan joining you again from my humble abode, my office. As you can tell, I am a total bookworm. There's 4 bookshelves just in this room alone. There's one in our living room because I would prefer to read in the mornings rather than watch TV. Which kind of takes me to my next topic, actually. It's titled Controlling Your Life by Controlling Your Calendar. So, I come from a background in the fitness industry. I like to coach people. I like to help them reach their fitness goals. I like to help them reach their life goals. It's something I enjoy doing. It's just helping people. One thing that is a personal trigger for me is when I get with a client, whether it's in a life coaching atmosphere, it's in a fitness coaching atmosphere, and they say, "Oh, well, I don't have time." For me, it's extremely frustrating because you've taken my time so far out of my day, out of my life, away from my family, so I can come to you because you asked me for help and I'm going to help. I give you step-by-step solutions, right? But all you saw is a list. You saw a list of things that I assigned you, kind of like homework. And you're like, oh my gosh, here's a bunch of stuff that I have to do. I've already got a list of stuff to do. I'm going to have to mesh this to-do list with my current to-do list. And, I'm already just so busy that I can't find time to do the things I actually want to do, let alone this. I don't have time for this. And that's kind of what's tracking up here. And if that's your current mindset, and you don't actively choose to change it, then you're not going to have the success in your life that you're looking for. And I say that with all the love in my heart, right? Because there's no such thing as a bad intention. I told you, I'm not a cheerleader, I'm not your guru. I'm not going to tell you crap to please you, to make you happy. I'm not a people pleaser. Used to be, but I learned from that. I'm here to coach you. I want to make you get the results that you want. I want to help you reach your goals, right? So most of what I'm going to tell you is stuff that you may not always want to hear. Because it's my job that if you want real results, to be real with you, okay? Completely transparent. That being said, I understand there's mom and dads out there that have they're dealing with situations. They have 3 kids, 2 of which are fosters. They're going through dealing with the foster system, and one is special needs. I completely understand there's a ton of work that goes into a family structure like that, and I support the absolute crap out of you. I just don't want people giving up on their dreams, because really the only person that can take your dreams away from you is you. Just being completely honest. You can blame people all day long saying, oh, they didn't let me succeed. They didn't want me to do this. They didn't want me to get into that MLM. And they told me that I was going to lose a bunch of money. And then, I didn't do it because I listened to them. And I gave up on my dreams because, they talked me into it. No. Accept responsibility for yourself and your actions. You didn't get into that MLM because you talked yourself out of it. You let your friends, your broke friends, decide what you're going to do. Be a professional fruit checker. The person you're listening to should have the results that you want from your life. So whether you're getting advice in the fitness industry, is that person fit? They don't necessarily have to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They don't have to be The Rock. They don't have to be like super buff, super fit. But is their waist sagging below their zipper? If so, you may not want to take fitness advice from someone like that. Now, there are people who can be 150 pounds overweight. They've lost 100 pounds. They still have 50 to go. And they may not look very fit, but they obviously know what they're doing because they've gotten from point A to point B. Great. Talk to them about what they're doing and see if something like that can work for you. That's okay. But if you're taking financial advice from somebody who's broke, that's not going to help you. You shouldn't be taking financial advice from your broke friends. Don't be taking advice on businesses from your friends who don't own any businesses. Don't be taking advice on MLMs from your friends who weren't in those MLMs. Just because their cousin's father's mother's brother was in that particular MLM does not mean they know anything about it. It also does not mean that that person that was in it knows anything about it now, because MLMs notoriously change and update, and and do all these things. And the reason I'm spending so much time talking about MLMs today is because I find a majority of the people I deal with are in one, which is fine. You need to define the difference between an MLM and a pyramid scheme, because the reason that we get this negative stigma towards MLMs, which in case you don't know what that is, that's a multi-level marketing. It's when you use a network of people to get financial success. So whether you're selling products to a network of people, whether you're partnering with people in business, like signing them up, but you're not getting incentive to sign them up, because that would, put it on the illegal spectrum. You're just signing them up. You're supposed to coach them through whatever program it's going and get financial success that way. Whether you're buying your own stuff, you're selling stuff, whatever the case is. But a lot of people come to me because they're in the spectrum and their whole job is to be involved in network marketing, but they hate people. You're going to have to overcome some stuff if you want to succeed in that realm. And one of the things you're going to have to overcome is dealing with people. Is getting out of your comfort zone, learning to like people, not fake like, but really like people, and talking to people, even when you don't feel like it. If you're at the grocery store and you just have had the worst day at work, remember that if you want that job to be a temporary job, you're going to have to do some things that you don't feel like doing after those working hours are over. Don't let them steal that time from you. They've already stolen 8 hours of your day, or 9 hours of your day, or 10 hours of your day. They've stolen that time from you because you're trading your hours for a paycheck. Don't let them steal the time after the clock ends. That's your time. Your time to work on your goals and you. If you're working on a business, if you're working on a fitness schedule, the time before you go into work and the time after you get off work are the hours you have to devote to yourself, your family, whatever goals you're trying to crush. If your house needs to be fixed, fix your house, whatever the case is. That's your time. Don't let your mental atmosphere that you got from being around your crappy workmates, sorry if you like some of them, most of them can be extremely depressing. They can put you in a funk. Don't let the mindset you develop while you're working that shift to tread into your personal life. Because once we get out of work, we want to come home and vent to somebody, right? But that's not always a good thing to do, because your spouse may be trying to have a better day than how it started out. So they're trying to get on the up and up, and you come down and you're like, and you take them down with you. So what we want is to start your day over, right? You get off work, it's a new day. New day. It's going to be a short day, but it's a new day. So you got a new mindset. You got to plug in a podcast. You got to read 10 pages in a book about mindset, or psychology or something like whatever is going to help you get out of your crap. You have to do that. You need to take 15 minutes as soon as you get off work, that commute from work home, to decompress. Then, immediately from the time you walk in the door at either your house, the grocery store, wherever, you're at work for yourself. You're working for yourself. It's a dream atmosphere. Nobody's giving you permission of when you can go to the bathroom. No one's telling you what you have to do that day except for you. Live it. Live that dream. In those hours, live that dream. Because if you do it hard, you go hard, do the things that make you uncomfortable now, you can live like no one else can. When no one else can. So when everybody's struggling for 40, 50, 60 years, hoping they have enough retirement to survive after, you're good. You've built an asset that builds passive income, and you're chilling. You're on your boat, chilling. Not worried about retirement, because you are retired at 35, or whatever the case is. So I got off track, but my goal here is just to say, don't give up on your dreams. Don't let other people steal those dreams from you, because people only have power over you if you allow them to have power over you, right? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt. Trust your coach. All right, so if any of you have ever played sports, it's the easiest kind of example I can give. When the coach gives you a play, coach has a plan. Coach says, we're going to run this play. Break. You run the play. You don't get out on the field and say, I'm going to do what I want to do because I think I know more than the coach. The coach got to be in that position typically because of their experience level, right? They're off winning championships or whatever the case is. You listen to your coach. Trust your coach. You have to. But trust has to be here. So if you have a coach, whether it's a life coach, whether it's a business coach, you have to trust your coach. You have to at least give them 10% of your trust starting out. They'll earn the other 90%, but you have to give them that 10%. So if they give you a play or a plan, follow the plan. Trust the plan. Trust that whatever they're giving you is for your benefit. They'll map out the most feasible way to fit in all that stuff. All the stuff that you were worried about doing with your crazy schedule and you were telling them you don't have time for, they will know how to fit those items into your schedule. You don't have to mesh a to-do list with another to-do list. It's all baby steps. And your coach will have that figured out for you. But you have to listen to them. You can't just go, eye contact, ears open, heart open, listen. So when people tell me that they don't have time to read or work out, the very first thing I ask them for is their phone. And they kind of look at me like, what you going to look at? I'm like, give me your phone. I scroll through their phone, and I look at their usage report for the day. And I find out that they spent 3 to 4 hours. That's 3 to 4 hours they've wasted on social media. They gave away. No one stole that time from them. They can say that social media sucked them in and stole their time. They voluntarily gave that time away for free. They didn't get paid for it. There was no incentive for it. Even if you're in an MLM and you say that you use social media for your business, let's go back through those 3 to 4 hours and find out how much of that time you spent scrolling through the news feed, liking pictures, finding funny memes to share with your friends. I'm guessing that out of the 3 to 4 hours, you may have spent 5 minutes contacting people, if we're being honest. And you write off the other 3 to 4 hours as just part of the job. But that's not the case. That's unproductive time that you could be spent doing other things. So if you don't prioritize these time periods in your life to do the things that you have to do, the most important things that you have to accomplish to get to your goals, you're going to have the same exact New Year's resolution that you had this year, next year. So if your New Year's resolution this year was to lose 10 pounds, next year, not only is it going to be to lose 10 pounds, it's going to be to lose 30. Because you gained 20 more pounds. Because you didn't make time for the stuff that mattered. You said you're working on your fitness goals, but what you're doing is wasting time on your Pinterest board, scrolling through life. Oh, well, that's a cool exercise, and you're pinning stuff. But are you doing the planks? Are you doing the push-ups when you get done? No. This will be good for next workout. Oh, well, look, the time I was going to spend working out is gone. I've been on social media. You won't admit it to yourself, but you need to. Take responsibility for where your time's going. You know, that's a big thing that I talk about with my clients. Stop making excuses for your lack of time. Stop saying, oh, I'm just so tired when I get off work. We all are. No one wants to do anything when they get off work except sleep, usually. You have to power through that. You have to flood your body with vitamin B, get out there, and make it happen. Because no one else is going to accomplish your goals for you. No one cares about your goals as much as you do. I say this with all the love in my heart because, like I said, there's no bad intention. But the most driven people and the people who are completely sick of being completely stuck where they are in their lives will figure out how to make it work. They will do everything in their power to fit those things into their schedule and make it work and be consistent. Because if you make it work for a day and skip 2 days, make it work for a day, skip 4 days, take a week off because you're on vacation. You can't work on vacation. How important is your dream? I don't care if it's fitness. I don't care if it's nutrition. I don't care what it is. Yeah, there's time to take time for yourself, sure. But don't make that a regular thing like avoiding the task at hand. Don't quit on your dream just because you feel like it's taking too long. Most successful people didn't get there overnight, right? They didn't just wake up one day and they were multimillionaires, right? Most people go to school for 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever degree they're working on, and they got there by learning to manage their time and control their calendars. Because anyone who's been to higher education school, whether it's your associates, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever, you know you have to prioritize that calendar because you know that on Mondays and Wednesdays you'll have quizzes. On Friday you're going to have 3 exams. So you have to prioritize your time of when you're going to study for what. You gave your university, we'll just say you went for your bachelor's, you gave your university 4 years of your time. and at least $40,000, if we're being honest. You're willing to commit 4 years of your life, no questions asked, because you've been told that when you get out of that university, you're going to have a job waiting for you in that field. All you have to do is put in the time and pay. You're willing to invest 4 solid years of your life, at least 122 credit hours, and $40,000. No questions asked. But when your coach needs an investment of $250, 3 to 5 years of your life for 3 hours a day, maybe 6 hours a week, depending on what you're doing, what you're working on. That's it. But you can't do that. You can give a university who doesn't care honestly about you. They're going to hand you a piece of paper at the end of it and say, good luck, hope you get your job. That's it. You got to figure it out yourself after that. Learn to trust, right? You start mastering prioritizing your calendar in college, because if you don't, you flunk out. That's the realness of it. Especially if you're an athlete in college, because that's your job. You're doing that a majority of the time, and you somehow have to fit academics in there as well. So you get really good at prioritizing your calendar. You can't get something for nothing. You have to give a little to get a little, right? I heard this quote the other day, and actually I wrote it down. God can't grant you that which you don't pursue. That's gold. So that's like saying, or how do you expect to get a job if you don't put in an application? If you don't have a resume? If you don't have a free account on some job board online? How do you expect to land those jobs? You're praying to God or source energy or whatever it is you believe in, but you're hoping. You're putting the energy out there. You're praying to God, whatever the case is, for this job. But you're not taking any action. Words are words, right? And I know there's a phrase that says, what you think of, you attract more of, it's the laws of attraction, right? That being said, that's true. However, action has to go with that thought process. You can think about winning the lottery all day long, but if you've never bought a ticket, do you even stand a chance? I mean, you don't really stand much of a chance anyways, but you're definitely not going to win the lottery if you've never bought a lottery ticket. And we do that on a daily basis. Oh man, I want $1 million. I'm going to have $1 million. I want $1 million. What are you doing to work on it? How many streams of income do you have? You can't dream, hope, and pray for the results when you're not putting forth the effort. It doesn't work like that. For me, it's kind of easy to think about it because your life is never going to change by making the same choices that you've made up until this point. Because where you're at in life, you honestly wouldn't be here, or you wouldn't be talking to me, you wouldn't be asking for help, whatever the case is. This is what I generally tell my clients. You wouldn't be here if the choices you'd made up till today were actually working for you. So until you make a conscious effort to change one thing that you do daily, nothing's going to change for you. If you haven't gotten $1 million yet, doing whatever you've done up until this point and continuing to do it isn't going to get you $1 million. Simple facts. So people who say, I don't want to change, my family and friends, they tell me they love me the way I am. Okay. I understand that. Just like we talked about, what you've done so far is not getting you your results. But on top of that, your family and friends are always going to love you unconditionally, or at least they should. But they're also comfortable with this mold that they've pushed you into, right? So because you're comfortable in your life doing what you've done, they've accepted that that's who you are. Whatever you're projecting out to the universe right now, that's who you are. They're comfortable with that because that keeps them comfortable with where they are. Once you start growing and changing, it puts pressure on them to change as well. And either they're going to rise to the cause and want to be on board with this changing, with this growing, with this building themselves, or they're going to get upset. They're going to take it personally. They're going to get, in some cases, they can get hostile with you. But it's because they don't recognize who you're becoming, and it makes them uncomfortable. And a lot of people are not comfortable with being uncomfortable. They don't understand that they have to get out of their comfort zone to perform, to go after what they need to go after, to accomplish what they need to accomplish. They have to get very comfortable with being uncomfortable. And people who aren't successful or aren't living out their true potentials, they're likely to do so for two reasons. And typically that's they like living in their comfort zone more than they want to grow or become their best potential themselves, right? Or they have a deep fear for what's going to happen. They fear change because they know what they're doing right now is building these results. There may not be anything in sight, but they know that if they go to that 9-to-5 job, that $30,000 a year, they're getting that guaranteed paycheck. That's a result they know is going to continue to happen unless their job pulls the rug out from under them. But they think of financial stability as security because they're getting that paycheck, all the time, every biweekly or whatever your paycheck is. I don't know. Some people get paid weekly, some is biweekly, some is once a month, whatever. But they see that as consistency, and they think, well, that's pretty stable. That's good. I know that's going to happen, and they don't account for things like you're getting fired, furloughing. AI is taking over most of the jobs in the government right now. Accounting, CPAs, records. All jobs are getting outsourced to this technology. And people aren't thinking. They're accepting that paycheck and moving on with their lives. So they've gotten comfortable with that. And they're scared to change that up because, well, if I start working on something else, or if I quit this job to do something I'm passionate about, what if that doesn't work out? And I can't get this paycheck back, and this isn't making me the money. And they're worrying about things that haven't happened yet. They're causing themselves anxiety and stress. And believe me, I'm an expert in this field because I used to cause myself stress over nothing. What happens if I don't change the clothes over from the washer into the dryer in time and they sour? And I can never get that sour smell out. I mean, stupid stuff, but it was accumulating from big things going on in my life that I was pushing to the back burner and I wasn't taking responsibility for, and I wasn't working to actively change, so I would live in fear all the freaking time. So I was worried what the future would hold. I was fearful of it. I had anxiety in the presence, in the present tense. I was so anxious all the time because I was living in the past and the present. I would think about, well, these things are happening in the past. Oh my gosh, this was so awful. This was so awful. And I spent all this time thinking about what was happening in the past. And then I would think about the future. Oh my gosh, this could happen in the future too. And I never spent any time being present in my life. I never spent any time being present with my wife, with my dogs, with my family, with just what was going on at that point in time. And I would get so angry and frustrated because all I saw was failure, because that's all I was focused on. What you focus on, you attract. So if you're focusing on shit, guess what you're going to get more of? For me, it took a year and a half to come to this understanding. I had to go through mentorship, self-development through books, podcasts, conferences. I had to go to therapy. I mean, I had to go through hell and back to get out of my shit. But that makes me extremely qualified to help you get out of your shit. Especially when it comes to stress and anxiety. Managing that is the key to a long life. Just remember that when you're starting to encounter obstacles and you're thinking, gosh, this is taking forever, or man, my coach is asking too much of me, I can't make time for this. Just remember something. God isn't picking on you. He handpicked you. If not you, then who? Who else can handle this challenge that you've been presented with? This adventure that was handed to you. No one else can get the results that you can. No one's picking on you. You've been handpicked for this mission. It's a big deal. Whatever you believe in handed you this situation for a reason. So don't get discouraged. And just remember, I recommend, my recommendations for prioritizing your actual calendar. Get off your freaking phone. If your calendar is on your phone, that gives you another way out to get to the social media pages on your phone. Make it a conscious effort to get to those pages. Put them all in a folder in the very fourth page on your phone, so you have to go find them, hide them within folders, so you have to actually consciously make a decision to go find that social media to lose your time. Don't use a calendar on your phone. You can set it for like reminders and stuff. That's great. But get a physical calendar. I'm going to show you what mine looks like. Law of Attraction Planner. I actually picked it up on Amazon a while back, but there's goal setting in here. If you haven't done any kind of goal setting, this is a great intro. There's like 15 pages in the back that just teaches you how to use the goal setting stuff. But I'm going to show you what a typical day for me looks like. I've got all kinds of post-it notes and papers and stuff. Comes with a bookmark about some mantras to kind of help you get more relaxed, get more present in your life, and really achieve the results you want to achieve. There's reflect on your month. So you can go in here and actually reflect, where is my time spent, how many hours of exercise, total expenses, gratitude, mentors. Just go through here and write what worked, what didn't work, what made you feel good, what were your mental blocks and distractions. That's a week for me. See all that writing? All this stuff? That's a week for me. And pretty much every week is that hectic. But it's because I don't make to-do lists. I found that I was getting even more anxiety by doing the to-do list, because I would have 50 items on there to accomplish in 1 week. And the 50 items were like outrageous stuff, like clean out the entire garage in one day. My garage is a 2-car garage, and it would be filled with like furniture that I was refinishing. I would need to refinish the furniture, sell the furniture. I mean, it was just unrealistic stuff that I had on there. And it would give me anxiety knowing that I couldn't finish that list in a week. Or I would have 20 items in a day that were big tasks. And instead of breaking them down into smaller tasks to make them more manageable, I kept them as big tasks on this list. So I would look at my list and I would get discouraged waking up, and I was like, I don't want to do anything today. I don't want to even try to attempt this list. And I would just stop. I was already depressed from being anxious all the freaking time. And I would look at this list and make it worse. And I was like, I don't even want to, I'm just going to lay around and do nothing all day. Because I can't finish this list. I'm worthless. And it would carry on over to the next day. Or I would get like 1 or 2 things done. And I was like, I'm a total failure. Out of 50 things, I finished 1 or 2 things. But I added 6 more of things that I thought of along the way. And it would just get carried over to the next day, the next day, the next day. And I will make a to-do list for the sole purpose of putting it on my planner. As I'm thinking of things, if I'm, driving, I'll speak, hey, add this to the list, add, whatever the case is. And when I get to where I'm going, I'm writing it in my calendar and I'm erasing that note. So it's all in here, and it's categorized by time slots. So if I know I need to spend 30 minutes recording a video like this, I budget that time. Hey, between the hours of 3 and 3:30, I'm going to record something. Or if I know I need to mow the yard, between the hours of 4 and 6, I'm going to mow, weed eat, trim the hedges, whatever the heck needs to be done. But I have it all allotted out in time slots that are immovable. They have to be done. Right now, it's okay if I'm running late. Like, say I get off work late. Things happen. You can accommodate those, but you still have those slots and you know they need to be done. And it keeps you on track. As long as you keep looking at that calendar, it keeps you present, keeps you accounted for, keeps you focused on your goals. It doesn't give me anxiety because I'm able to cross things off as the time goes on throughout the day. But I had to start managing my goals. I couldn't take this one huge thing like cleaning out the garage and making it a day task. I had to finish a piece of furniture on this date. Or take 3 days to finish a piece of furniture. And I had to slowly clear that out. Just making them more manageable. Stop putting yourself through the ringer for no reason. It's just, you're screwing yourself over in the long run. But a life coach, a business coach, these are people that can help you because they're taking an outside look into your life and they're looking at your goals and they're like, holy crap, I couldn't do this, No wonder you're struggling. It's because these things are completely unmanageable. There's only 24 hours in a day. You need at least 8 to sleep. And a few hours to eat and do your business and whatever else that needs to be done. Feed dogs and things like that. It's unrealistic to try to set these huge goals like this for small time slots. You need to break them down. A coach can help you break down those tasks. And it can be something as, you don't think you need a life coach, but you hire a personal trainer, we call a coach, for your fitness goals. You hire a nutritionist, a health coach, for your health goals. You hire a actual coach for your sports team. I mean, you may not be paying them, but they're hired for it for a reason. You hire coaches throughout your whole life to coach you through what you need to get through, but you're adverse to hiring a life coach to help you get through your life. Start using things like this. Start using life coaches, because even if you don't own a business, if you just have a 9-to-5 job, how can you make your life more productive to have more time to enjoy the things you want to do? Even if you just want to spend more time with your family, with your kids, going to the park, going to a life coach to help manage your calendar and break down your tasks can give you more time to spend with them. They help you figure things out, which will help you with stress levels. Your stress won't be as high when you're able to kind of manage those things and have half the things that you don't want to do up here, and this whole half down here is stuff that you actually want to do, working on your goals. So I always recommend get with a coach. Whether it's me, whether it's somebody who is reputable in your life, somebody. And make sure it's somebody who has the results you want. So if you want to have financial success, go to somebody who's a financial advisor. Make sure that whoever you go to has the results you want. Just don't pick a random stranger who you're like, I don't know, they said that they did this and that and this and that, but I don't really know them. They don't have any social media pages for me to look at. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you kind of want to semi-stalk the people you take advice from. In terms of, like, if you tell me you're a fitness, you're into fitness, you're a personal trainer, and you're leaving a comment, so I can't really see your picture, but I go to like your profile page, and you're eating pizza every night, and there's no kind of inspirational, motivational, exercise, fitness related quotes, memes, you working out in the gym, and I see a picture of you and you're pretty overweight, and I'm kind of wondering, are you certified, or do you have any experience in working out? Ask the questions, the common sense kind of questions, things that you need to have figured out before you commit to a relationship with this person. But yeah, that's all I got for today. I ran a little longer than I wanted to. I just want to make sure you understand that by kind of letting your day just, the people who are like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, I never know what I'm doing, I'll figure it out as I go throughout the day, they don't get anything done. So if you're looking to actually accomplish something, to move on, to get out of your stinky butt job, to build a life you're proud of, start controlling your calendar, because you're losing minutes of your life and you don't even realize it. So I hope this helped you guys. I would say if you're looking for more information, follow this page, click that little red subscribe button down there. I post regular updates on my Instagram, which is legacy_lifestyle_coaching. I also post things to Facebook, which is just Megan James. I know there's like 1,000 of us, but you'll recognize me in the little short thing and probably a suit, because I like to dress nice. I post regular things on there. I go live on Instagram. I usually give a little bit more to my Instagram than I do my Facebook, to be completely honest. It's just more versatile for me. But I will be posting regular videos on here. Shoot me some thoughts about what you're looking for, what things would help you reach after your goals. Tell me what your goals are. And if you're looking for a coach and you like the way I talk, even if I'm offensive, hit me up. All right. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Positive mental attitude.